Hey guys, Marsingen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the INT Pan, who is the side banner unit from the Piccolo banner. Very strange that they didn't put her on Gohan's banner, but I don't know. People did mention in the comments of the other two 55% showcases that I've put up that they did want to see how good she was at 55%, so I'm going to go ahead and do that video, mainly because I want to use her in the runs for like Gohan and Piccolo versus Cell Max and stuff like that, so kind of makes sense to get this video out of the way first. I'll probably do the one for Goten and Trunks tomorrow, because I don't think anyone really cares about them all that much, but she's a bond of parent and child leader for 130, obviously very good category, but much lower leader skill than we would like. Her super attack raises attack and defense of 1 turn, does supreme damage, high chance to stun, and then her passive, 2 key, attack and defense 150, she gives superheroes category allies 1 key and 30% to attack and defense, and then also gives 1 key and 20% attack and defense for characters who are also in bond of parent and child or bond of master and disciple. So specifically, obviously other units are included, but Gohan and Piccolo, she buffs both of them 50%. So obviously she's very good to be run on their team. She has a medium chance to dodge, then she has an additional chance to dodge 30% when facing only one enemy. So the way I believe that works now with the wording of the passive is that should mean she has a 60% chance to dodge rather than 2 separate 30% chances. If you face 2 enemies, you get an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super. So for Super Battle Road, extra chance to stun, an additional defense raised from her super attack effect, and then she gets attack and defense 100% and a high chance to crit for 4 turns after evading an attack. So obviously you want her to dodge the first attack more than anything, and then of course after that just as many dodges as possible. So full dodge is the way to go. I literally gave mine a bronze and a silver dodge skill orb, and then if you do get dupes, I do have a dupe available for mine but wanted to do the 55% video, I would say full dodge and then you just put the rest into additional. So not a great turn for Gohan here, but we're not here to see what he can do. Pan needs to dodge the first attack ideally, there we go. Then if she doesn't dodge, she'll take double digit damage. 3.5. I mean, you know, to be honest, for a 55% unit, I have run her a few times on the link level team, because obviously I started link leveling Gohan and Piccolo pretty much straight away, and used them in the events to get the extra medals to Awaken Pan and Goten and Trunks. So a couple of her links are at like 2 and 3. I think one of them might even be at 4 or 5. But for a 55% unit, remember her sole role on the team is to be there to provide 50% support. Well, I say her sole role, I guess that is her main role, but the fact that she can be good defensively because of the dodging is obviously something that we can use to our advantage. So, as long as we don't get supered in slot 1, this will be a good play. But we'll do this, get some build up for Gohan. And I bought this STR Pan, so when it comes to link partners, I've got the link tool site up here. Funnily enough, Xenopan is her best link partner. They share 6 links. Innocence, All in the Family, Saiyan Lineage, Battlefield Diva, Patrol, and More Than Meets the Eye. The only difference is, Fierce Battle and More Than Meets the Eye. The difference is Xenopan has Patrol, and what do you have? Infighter, I guess? Yeah, Infighter. So they only have 1 link different. The only downside is Xenopan is a very similar unit, an int unit that wants to dodge, gets extra defense from dodging, but then she only supports heroes. So obviously running her on the same team as this Pan doesn't really provide a huge amount of benefit to her. So we do get the extra Saiyan Lineage link, which is nice for the extra key on the low link levels. Remember, at low link level, Saiyan Lineage is literally 1 key. When we get to 10, it's 2 key and attack and defense 5%, so it becomes significantly better. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Of course, those didn't connect exactly how I thought they would, but we're not here to see what Gohan can do, I guess. Man, Gohan. Does Ultimate Gohan give key support as well? Because missing an 18 key super when you have 2 key supports on the rotation is definitely pretty awkward. So dodge this. Hey, there we go. That's what we like to see. I was having horrible flashbacks of Xenopan, because those of you who... actually, to be fair, I don't think I uploaded any of those particular, like, failed runs, but when I was trying to go through and record all of the runs for all of the Heroes units that came out, the number of times I did this stage, and I bought Xenopan for support, and she didn't dodge a super from this guy, and then takes, like, 400k, so... let's float off this Gohan now, because he's pretty good for supporting Pan. They do share a few links as well, actually. I think they share, is it 4? Yeah, they share 4 links as well. So this AGL Kid Gohan, I mentioned it before the banners came out, but I always thought he was going to be a good option for this Gohan team, because he's getting the 200% leader skill, he stacks defense, he gives everybody else on the rotation 58% defense as well as ki, and then if you do start the turn below a certain amount of HP, he has the healing active skill that then also gives the defensive buff, and he guards for that turn as well. So I feel like AGL Gohan could still be pretty good. He is maybe a little bit outdated. Like, I've already, even around the time of the anniversary and stuff when the Red Zone came out, using him on some of his Goku family builds and stuff like that where he was only getting a 170 lead. Very early on, he could get you killed by getting super attacked. But obviously against certain Red Zone bosses, as we always say, there are a lot of units that are just not going to be tanking those super attacks. But he does pretty decently. Alright, so we have these guys together now. They share 4 links. So if you're there... God, look at all those links we would get. But unfortunately... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to take the risk here. We're going to see more of Pan. Let's go ahead and do this. Because STR Pan needs some build-up. I think she... Because we floated her off. I don't know if she's actually even done anything at this point. So let's get her in here. She does build up dodge. I think it's as the turns go on, right? Or is it... based on her attacks? I need to double check, but she shares 4 links as well. Funnily enough, when it comes to other pans outside of the Xenopan, B-Pan actually shares, well, the LR B-Pan shares 4 links, the TUR B-Pan shares 5, Tech Dokkan Fest Pan shares 5 links with her. The only reason I didn't bring her to run as a rotation partner is obviously the GT Pan requires a very specific set of like characters to be run with her in order for her to be really good, and I didn't want to run her on this team if it meant that she was you know, just kind of going to be sat there as a link partner and not really doing anything. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll get a good turn for the Gohans here, obviously not for our boy Ultima Gohan at the end, who hopefully does guard. Like, Gohan has been known to let me down a little bit in the past, but it's quite funny for those of you who commented. Obviously, I did pre-record before I went away for my family Christmas a video about how Tech Gohan was going to get such a great buff from the release of this new Gohan, only for us to learn that, of course, the new Gohan not only doesn't transform, but also has a kind of a weird link set. So in the early turns, they can't... they don't link up super well. But then once you get this Tech Gohan to transform, I do think this rotation does actually still work, like, pretty well. So whilst that video didn't quite age the way I expected it to, with the surprising details of what Gohan actually ended up being like, Tech Gohan definitely is a very good pick for the team. Oh, come on, Gohan, you couldn't just kill him. And now we're going to get supered. If he doesn't guard, I think we do actually just die. Okay, good. Whew. Man, STR Ultima Gohan and his guarding has definitely let me down before. Alright, so we get the extra support from Gohan here. What links do we share with you? All in the family, Fierce Battle. So, the only link we get extra is Fierce Battle, which is obviously a good link. But getting that extra defense, we are at, what, 169. I think that's because we have the... I think we're on the turn now where we've not dodged. That was actually the last turn, but we didn't get a dodge in because the enemy died. Her 4-turn buff has run out. But look at that! You see that significant difference in the damage that she takes. The first attack she didn't dodge, then she dodged the second attack, which gives her that 100% extra stat buff, and then she took double-digit damage. So I definitely think she is kind of a risky unit to put in slot 1. Who's built up the most here? The guest Gohan is at 44. I think the guest Gohan has an extra dupe as well, because mine only has 1. So let's do this. Do this. Let's... Actually, you know what? Let's do this as well. Why not? I didn't realise the skip was off for that, but this is a showcase for Pan, not for Gohan, so here's what it is.
Time to get serious.
I think if we take him out here, which we probably will, the Nova phase is STR, isn't it? Is it Nova that's STR and then Ice is physical? Because one thing I've noticed doing showcases on this stage is even with type neutral, the difference between how hard this guy hits and how hard Nova hits with his super attack, there's a pretty big gap in between. I had a character that was type disadvantage to this guy take like 400k, and then someone type neutral to Nova took like 600k from his super attack, so he is very strong. This turn we are getting the extra buff from Gohan. Now Pan is not going to be on Saviors, right? I should have looked at all of her categories, but yeah, she's not on Saviors, so she doesn't get the extra attack buff, but she's starting off at 330k. Remember, she is raising her attack and defense on super, so it's a 30% buff. So she's over 400k. She has all that extra chance to dodge. It's just one of those things with these dodge units where the turns that you don't get it, then obviously those are the ones where you're just potentially going to die. Like if you take her up against the Metal Cooler Core, she's got type disadvantage. She's got to dodge like every single attack or you're dead, essentially. And she could do that. That's why I think the full dodge build is probably the way to go. But she doesn't get any extra dodge or anything like that from her build-up. So you see there, we only had to take one attack. It was after supering, so she didn't take that much damage, so it's not too bad. But if this was like Metal Cooler Core, she only took one normal attack, but that would have been like 200k, potentially. If not more, even, to be honest. So I do think this unit is going to be quite useful for like buffing the team. I don't think I would run the risk of using her as a slot 1 unit, although obviously Gohan, we need a good selection of slot 1 units for him in order for him to be really good. But like this rotation is kind of perfect for Gohan. Like we've got every link except Kamehameha and Legendary Power, and then we can get the full 24 key super that makes him effective against all types. So he should... Oh, I misclicked there. But he should be looking really good on this turn. And then obviously Ultimate Gohan in slot 1. He's not taking any damage here at all. So I mean, this rotation goes pretty hard with the support from AGL Gohan as well. Definitely looking pretty good. So we'll see what the rotation looks like at the start of the next turn. And I'll try and put Pan in front of as many attacks as possible. But, I mean, 13 million for this Gohan with no attack support. You saw the friend was full level 1 links. And I think 2 dupes. So then the 8 on the additional. So over 20 million worth of attack without EV. Could have gotten an extra super. That middle normal attack could have been a super. So how much does he eat this for? Be quite interested to see. Yes, he's still 84k. But I guess it's worth mentioning, like I said already, I've seen him hit type neutral for like 600k. So type disadvantage, if he'd gotten the 3rd super off, obviously it potentially would have been quite a bit less. But, you know, type disadvantage supers, what are you going to do? So let's go ahead and do this, and then we'll see if Pan gets some dodges in here. She should still have her extra buff. So there's the dodge. Even if she didn't have it, she does now. Dodges both of those, and then 3 mil. So damage-wise, about what we would expect from a unit that's just there to dodge and support the team. But overall, I think she's pretty good with the dupes. Although you see there, 23. 23 after the normal. That's on a turn with no support outside of her own. That is potentially maybe still a little bit more than I would have expected. But again, actually, I suppose to be fair, this is 55% and basically like very low level links. So with dupes and at level 10 links, I guess she's not going to be taking that much damage from the normals with her buff. But it's making sure you get that first dodge, which you have no control over. And of course he's going to super Gohan again. So I guess we get to end the video with an L. All the Gohan haters can use this as extra fuel, I guess. But there you go. So Pan, pretty good. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.